Hey guys, okay, so I'm coming to you with the stretchy cluster bracelet tutorial, and it's to learn how to do these right here on a stretchy string. I do everything in threes. It's just the way I roll. So let's dive in. We will be using this 1mm stretchy string. You can get this Hobby Lobby, Michaels, or Joann's. So we're gonna use that size. It's a little thicker, but that's kind of what we want when we got a lot of stuff hanging from it. We'll be using our flush cutters, our needle nose with the ridges inside, needle nose, round needle nose, and then an extra set of regular needle nose with, then they're like not, they don't have the ridges inside. We'll be using our glossy accent to seal off the knots. We'll be using crimp bead covers. These are purchased from Hobby Lobby. And that's it. So let's dive in. So, all right. Let's keep this here. So what I did is this one is already done. Okay, so I just went ahead and I did it with the little charms on here, and I already sealed it, and I have the crimp bead covered. It's already to go. Now the second one is already strung as well, and I kept these two simple only because the showstopper is going to be the one we're going to build together. So I like to have lots of little dangles, little things. That's just my style. You absolutely do not need to do that. Okay, so with this string, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and tie this off, and we're gonna do a surgical knot, which means you wrap it around 2 times, okay? And then we're just gonna tighten that up really good. We're gonna grab this crimp bead cover, and we're gonna stick it right underneath the knot. And we're gonna cut these off a little bit because we don't need them that long and in the way, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and add some glossy accent to the knot. Just be careful, you don't add a ton, you just want enough to coat the knot, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and close it off. I always, when I do this, I close like one side, then I get the other side and I close that. I don't squish it together all at once because these crimp bead covers, you'll see it'll get squished. So I just kind of do one side, then I do the other side, and then it closes off. And then you see there's only these little thingies sticking out. So we can go ahead and cut these off right to the bottom, and we're gonna let it sit on the side and dry. See, that's all that's to it. Knotting these off are so super, oops, sorry guys. And I have a new camera thingy. So I have to get used to now my phone being up here, and I have one of those gooseneck thingies, so I have nothing here no more. So now I just have to get used to the fact that I have it above me like this, which I will, because I'm absolutely loving that. Okay, so you see I already have these two, and they fit my wrist, which my wrist is a 6.5 when I do bracelets. It's actually a 6, but you can't wear a 6, it'd be too tight. So now we're just gonna go ahead and grab some of this string right here. I just guess, guys. I seriously don't sit there and measure that out. Now, I already have some of these little dangles made. Okay, so I already have these made. I did not want to do this on camera because that right there is like watching paint dry. But I do have some right here on the side that we are going to, oops, that we are going to go ahead and do together, just so that you can watch, because I know that a lot of you ladies like to watch and see how I turn them. So we're just gonna cut off a little bit. This is always guesstimating. There's nothing that I can say that's gonna be an exact as far as how much you should cut. Now I always go like about 1/4 inch up, and then I just go ahead and I start turning. Don't take it out. Come in, close, and turn towards me. And then we have this opening part right here. Okay, and then we're gonna close this off. And then there is that one. So then we're gonna go ahead and do this again. We're gonna cut off a little bit off the top, not a lot. And then we're gonna grab with the right, 1/4 inch in. Right hand does all the turning. Keep it in, back, turn it this way, and then actually, hold on. Oh no, I turned. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So let's straighten this out. And now we're going to close it and make sure that when we close it, that it's metal on metal. Make sure it's closed completely. You don't want this to come off. Now, so for some of you guys though, that happen to be, you know, good at your wire wrapping, then by all means, wire wrap these. These right here are 1-inch head pins. So there's not much give as far as wire wrapping them. And this is the ones that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. They're 1 inch. And these are perfect when you're doing just one bead like this. There's nothing else. You see how it's just one bead. So for me, that's perfect. So there's no waste. I don't need to get a 2-inch head pin when I'm going to cut off about 1 inch of it. That is a complete waste of a head pin. So I prefer to use it exactly as small as I need and then just keep on going. Okay. So I'm just kind of whizzing through these right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and wire wrap it. I can't tell you how cool it is to not have that, what you call it, the tripod in front of me. It is like so different to me right now to not have to, oh, let's close this one more. To not have to worry about that. Now I gotta be careful to not hit the top part of the camera because now it's just like at a different angle. And so it's just a matter of adjusting. And you guys won't have to worry about me saying, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it has crashed and fallen. I know my friend Hera and Mimi like to make fun of me because they're like, oh my gosh, if I see that camera fall one more time. I can't help it. I was working with limited space, but it's all right. You know, we only can work with what we have, right? So it is what it is. I'm not professional by any means. I am not the best person to do tutorials. I just do what I can, you know, and there are definitely some pretty awesome ladies out there that really do great tutorials. Oops. Oh, I think this went right through. See, so sometimes you'll see the head pin will go right through the bead. That's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. We have plenty already made. So we're going to go ahead and stick this little cluster right here. I already have a guesstimate of how I want to go ahead and design the beads. So right here is what we're going to do. I have, these right here are 8mm glass beads, and I have a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of these made. Then I have some yellow glass beads right here, and there's 5 of those. And then I have 5 of these super tiny little orange glass beads. Okay, so it's up to you how much you want on yours. So I'm just showing you what I'm putting on mine. And honestly, you can put these in a sequence if you wanted to, but for me, when you see them all bunched up, you're not going to be able to really tell if you had 3 of this one, then 3 of that one, then a couple of this one. You're not going to be really able to notice that. And you'll see why as soon as I string these along. But yeah, I love stuff that's super chunky. And by any means, do not also feel that you have to add as many as I do or use as big of beads as I do. It's absolutely what's your comfort level. I'm only here to give you the general idea of how it works. And then you can go ham and just go crazy with what you have in your own stash. Okay, so let's get these, one more here. All right, so, oops. Should I not close it? No, I just didn't add it. Let me see, I should have probably added those in the middle. Oh, that's fine, whatever. All right, so you'll see here, this is our little cluster of them, right? Now, when these get bunched up, oops, you'll see, it doesn't really matter how you coordinated the beads. You know, if you did, you know, a sequence, it's not gonna matter when they get bunched up. So I wouldn't worry about that because you've seen that I had way more of these beads than I did the other ones. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and do is we are gonna go ahead and start adding the beads. And I like to make sure it's not on the spool because what I do is I add my centerpiece here, then I string some here, so that they're equal on both sides. And I know exactly how much, you know, space I'm gonna have. And then I can know if I added too many, if I need to take some off, adjust it to my wrist size. It's never just an easy, you know, 6.5 inches. So you cut like a 7-inch stretchy string and then you string them on. Your beads are all different sizes. So it's very hard to guesstimate exactly how much string to cut, exactly what kind of beads to use. So that's why I wouldn't worry about the exact beads I'm using, the exact sizes of the beads I'm using, because it needs to be what you have on stash and what it is that you want to use. But my favorite size are normally 5-6 millimeters. Those tend to be the ones I gravitate to. Okay. And then, so I'm just doing some on one side, some on the other. So you see, this is kind of how it's coming along. So the time is just putting all of these together. Just grabbing a bunch of these little beads, making some head pins out of them, and then you bunch them all in the middle. It's super duper easy, I swear. So you don't have to worry about, oh, it's so complicated. It's not. It just looks extra busy, but it's really not. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab this jump ring, which is a 6 millimeter. I'm gonna hang one of these little cute floating hearts and actually, no, let me just close it off first and then add it on. And just add it on there randomly. I just want to have it on there. It was on my desk, so I'm like, why not? Let's just add it. Moving on. So, okay, and then, oh, I could have added that there. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and add this yellow. I'm going to add, oops. And because the stretchy string is thicker, it's so much easier to see. So that is perfect for me. And if you can't, they have the collapsible needles. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. This side. I'm going to switch to this side and add the smaller ones. So you just got to think of a sequence, how you want your beads to look on your bracelet. There's times I'll string it all and I'm like, yeah, I'm not loving it. And then I redo it all over again. Yes, that is the method to my madness. I just got to love it. Okay, we're going to go here. And add the last couple beads. Now we're going to see. All right. So then I have it like this, right? So you'll see everything is already clustered, this beautiful cluster of yumminess. Then I have to look and see, okay, let's put it on right here. Is it gonna be too tight? Yep, it's gonna be, so I'm gonna need to add a couple more beads, okay? So we're gonna open up my little bag right here. And we are going to add a couple of these little tiny orange ones. And then we're gonna see if that closes the gap. Let's see how that works out. Because we only need a little bit, I don't need a lot. And close this off. What I do is I kind of push everything to the front, hold on to it, and then I put it on my wrist. I'm thinking that'll work because I still have to add my crimp bead cover in the middle. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close this off. We're gonna tie that, and then we're gonna do a surgical knot, which is going over the one time, and then you're gonna go over one more time so that it looks like that. And then we're gonna tighten that up really good. Okay, cut off some of this extra, not everything yet, until we have this crimp bead cover under locked in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it under the knot. All right. And now we're gonna get our glossy accent. And I'm wondering if yeah, it dries so quick. All right. Oh, dang it. That came out fast. All right, let's just get that to where it just seeps down at the bottom. All right, then when we close it, the top part that you see that's moving right now, that's the one I start closing first. Then I come over here and I close the other side. And then I close this side, little by little each side. I don't just squish them together or else it's just not gonna be a complete circle. Okay, then we have these two little ears hanging out. Close it off, close it off. Okay, so this is where we're at. I just have this little heart that's hanging right here. And actually what I'm gonna do is because see, it doesn't flow, right? So right here it does because I'm stretching it, but if I don't stretch it, you see how it's just sticking out? It has no movement. So how we remedy that is we are going to go ahead and we're gonna open one more up and we're gonna open this bad boy. And let's go ahead and use the other pliers real quick. And we're gonna, oops, oh geez Louise. And we're gonna open this, pop this guy out. We're gonna close this off to where it's snug. Now we're gonna take this extra jump ring, add it onto that one. Now we're gonna add the heart, and then we're gonna close this off. Okay, so this way it dangles and it flows much easier. So if we were to go ahead, we add the one, we add the cluster in the middle, and we add the other one with dangles. So I got dangles everywhere, guys. So you'll see I have some dangles there. I have this cluster and you see how it's all bunched up. And then I have cluster and the little dangles on this one. So either way, this is how it looks. I love it. And then this one right here is the one I did previously. So I'll put this on this hand since I already took off my jewelry. And see, these ones right here are smaller beads, right? So you'll see in comparison, I used bigger beads here, so it looks chunkier. I used smaller beads for a smaller cluster, but I used the same amount. Okay, so it's just a matter of what your preference is, what you like. You want smaller beads, bigger beads. You want to add some metal findings, some charms, which I did. And this is how this one is. This is my little chunky clustered stretchy bracelet. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was super duper easy, guys. As long as you know how to do these little head pins right here, this is what's gonna make everything much easier, is learning how to round these off. And when you're cutting them, I'm always laying it against my finger. And then you see the part that's hanging over, I just tend to cut that part off, okay? And then I just grab this and then I turn it, stays in, turn back, okay? And then you grab your pliers and that's where you straighten it if in case it gets bent, and then you close it, okay? So, oh dang, I hope that wasn't completely off camera. Jeez Louise. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So I hope that this tutorial helped you guys out and that you'll give it a try for those of you that like stretchy bracelets and want to just add a little something, something extra. And if you like chunky. All right, guys, so I will see you later. Have an amazing and blessed week. Bye.